At 37 years of age, one of the greatest players of all time, after 4 years away from the club, Cristiano Ronaldo has returned to Real Madrid for one last season. Hey guys, and welcome back to the 32nd episode of the FM21 Real Madrid Save, where today we are officially starting our final season in charge of the club, and it is the transfer special day, where we have just come off the back of unfortunately losing to Liverpool in the Club World Cup final. But to try and recoup our losses, we have made some signings, we have made some sales. But before we go over them, make sure that you have smashed this like button. Can we please get 12 likes today to celebrate us starting our final season and our insane signings, as well as subscribing to the Rexo FM YouTube channel if you are interested in daily-ish Football Manager content. But without any further ado, we need to welcome back Cristiano Ronaldo to Real Madrid. That's right, you heard it right. He is back, and he is still one of the best players in world football, playing as a left winger, as a striker, as a cam, as a right winger. This man is perfect for our squad. And the best thing is, he's come in on a free and his wages aren't insane. But the most important thing is, if you really analyse his stats, it's like time has barely even moved. Yes, he maybe doesn't have the same pace, stamina and strength that he used to have. I don't actually know what his original stats were, but 19 finishing, 17 first touch. His dribbling is probably lower than it could have been. Heading still 19, still 6'2", obviously. Technique 17, great mental stats, really good physical stats as well. He comes in as probably the best player in our squad, and he's had some decent form at Juventus over the past 2 seasons, and I'm hoping that he can bring that straight to us in our final season for this club. We've also made some other signings, but first I'm going to go over the one sale that we've made between now and last episode. I lie, this was actually made during last episode, but it is unfortunately the loss of Martin Odegaard. He is a beautiful player and he did really well for us in this save, especially last season, bringing in 6 goals and 11 assists, but unfortunately his contract was expiring at the end of the year. And I know that we're not doing another season next year, but from a realism perspective, £100 million for a man that is not wanting to sign another contract, it's a no-brainer, and even £100 million isn't too bad. The only thing that kind of sucks is that even with requesting a higher amount, we only get 40% of the wage that we bring in. Sorry, the transfer revenue that we bring in. But it is unfortunate to see this man go, but he is going to do great things at Chelsea, and it means that we have more money to reinvest in the club, and we have done exactly that. Starting with another club legend, Sergio Ramos. His contract was expiring after 1 season away from the club, and we have brought him straight back. We lost him last year, and I was emotional about it. We didn't miss him too much, but I think that it is a beautiful decision to bring him back into the club. What a player he is, and he is going to be such an asset in that centre-back position all season long. Our next signing may seem a little bland, but it is Nouri. I hope I am saying that right. The French left back comes in for only £18.5 million, and he's got a lot of potential going along with that. Some decent stats right now. Currently our only backup left back is Marcelo, and to be honest, I'm expecting him to retire pretty soon. So I think bringing this man in is a really good idea. He's better than him in quite a few areas, including defending, physical, and speed, of course. You would expect that. He does have a wee bit of an edge, Marcelo, of course, and a couple of other areas, but I still think he's a brilliant signing. Moving on to our next one, it's Jadon Sancho, and I think that this is a real showstopper. We have brought in Ronaldo on the left-hand side, and now we've brought in Jadon Sancho on the right-hand side for only £83 million. I know that sounds like a very high fee, but if you take a look at the stats he's got, what he can bring to the table, his age, his potential ability, this is an absolute bargain. He's already an elite right winger. He can play left wing, he can play right mid, he can play left mid, he can play just about, he can play everywhere on the wing, and he has some brilliant stats to go along with it. 18 dribbling, 14 finishing, 16 first touch. I could go on and on about this man, but I'm not going to, because we have even better signings to talk about, with our final one being Wilfred Ndidi. I don't know if it's better, but he's still a very good signing. He comes in for, again, an absolute bargain fee of only £15 million. And for a 4-star current ability player who's going to play in that central midfield role, or that deep line central defensive midfielder, or even centre-back if we really need him to, 19 tackling, amazing mental stats, great physicals as well, including 18 stamina, so he's going to be up and down the pitch. Comes in from Leicester, who he maybe hasn't performed as well as he possibly could have because of, not being in the best squad of all time. No disrespect to Leicester, I think he has taken a big step up with us though, but he still has some magical stats for that side. And bringing him to a bigger club like this, he's only going to get better and better. The only stat that does concern me is that 7 finishing, but as long as we make sure he's not trying to bang them in from halfway, and honestly keeping him at that deep line playmaker role, I think he highlights all of his best stats, and I think he is going to be an amazing asset at only 25 years of age for our club. But the transfers are not done yet. We still have some players that I'm looking to sell. Unfortunately, some players that want to be sold, and we still have a decent amount of money. But I know that I'm going to be recouping quite a bit of money after making some sales. So don't go anywhere. We are going to continue to make these signings left, right and centre. As I've just said, I realise I've said that twice in a row. And we have some friendlies coming up. We'll have this whole pre-season sorted out. And of course, some big names coming as soon as possible. With under a week to go until the start of the season, with our first home game being against Valencia, we have made some deals, the first of which being a massive sale. Luka Jovic, as I have covered before in last episode, has left the club for £175 million. Don't ask me why Manchester City are willing to pay that for him. Don't get me wrong, he is an amazing player. Got so much potential about him, got some amazing stats already. But £175 million, that's like the second most expensive player of all time. I would have gone with Mbappe personally, but it's their call and I'm happy to take that money. The unfortunate thing though is that we still only receive 40% of the transfer revenue that we bring in, as I just shown there. But he's a good player, it's a solid deal. How much money did we get from it? 40%, somewhere around 80 million. Not a bad fee at all. I would have liked that whole 175,000. Sorry, not 1,000. 175 million pounds. He's been a great servant, but it's time to say goodbye. And we have tried to sign some replacements for him, but first of all, we have some other signings that we need to go over. And the first one is Marcus Antonio, 4.5-star current ability. You'll never guess how much we bought him for unless you saw before. £16 million. I don't know how. I just don't know how he's this good. I don't know if his stats quite correlate to a 4.5-star current ability, but I'll take it. And I will definitely run with it because he is going to be an amazing player for us this season. If he is even half as good as what his, scouting is telling us. So for £41.5 million worth of value already, £16 million he actually cost us. I have no idea why Shakhtar have sold him for that low, but we will put it straight into our basket and run with it because he's going to be great for us this season as a rotation and a starting option in that midfield trio. So we might need to play him as a deep line one or potentially in that central midfield role, but it just depends on what system we're rolling with. Our next signing is another Brazilian man, a familiar face. It is Fabinho. He's come back on loan for yet another season, and we do not mind that at all. Once again, we have an option to buy. We've got just his wage to pay. He did well for us last season, so I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be bringing him back. And it's another Brazilian to our squad. It's another central defensive midfielder / right back, which I love about his versatility. 28 years of age. What a signing. But it's not the only Brazilian we've brought in. We've brought in 4 Brazilians now during this transfer window. Gabriel Jesus, now Antonio, as well as... I feel like there's one more. There is one more. I said 4, but I'm not actually counting 4. Fabinho, there we go. There's the other one. Antonio, there's not 4. I don't think there's 4. Is there 4? I wanted there to be 4. We tried to sell Gabriel, but we didn't get it in. But we did get Gabriel Jesus. That is the important thing. And he is coming for a pretty small fee relative to how good the man is of £56 million. He's going to be a great striker option. Can even play on the right wing or left wing, and he has some amazing stats to go along with that. 3.5-star current ability and a 4.5-star potential ability. 14 finishing, 16 dribbling, some great mental stats, some decent physicals as well as some good technique. He's just all round a decent striker. Elite striker he is described as, so I think he's going to be a brilliant player for us all season long. And for a pretty good price, he's probably about as good as Jovic is. So I don't understand why they sold him to us for 56 and bought him for 170. It's not my place to judge, but there's not a whole lot between the two of them, is there? And yeah, okay, 25 years of age, he's a great signing. That's what we need to focus on. We have also sold a Brazilian here. Tete has left the club. We brought him in our first season in charge. Didn't do amazingly well, and we have sold him for a tiny profit, but we're just happy to get him off our wage bills. Christensen as well, we have managed to sell. This is a man I bought in last season for the deliberate effect of getting a profit for him next year, and we've done exactly that. £12.75 million. That's a £5 million profit. Don't mind that. PP has gone out on loan to Hertha Berlin. Hopefully he can do a good job out there. Theo has left the club for £7.5 million. Just not a player that I think was going to develop the way we wanted him to, even though he did have some good appearances for us every now and then last season, mainly off the bench in cup competitions if we go down to this one. But he did have 2 games in the league, so not the worst player of all time, but unfortunately never going to crack into the squad. We're still trying to make some more deals. We are certainly not done in this window, but I have realised I've got a wee bit of a predicament because we have only 3 non-EU players available, and we have Gabriel Jesus, Nunez, even Antonio, so that's 3 already, Bentancur, and Fabinho, who are all kind of crucial players to the squad that we want to be building. I don't know who's not going to make the cut. I think the first one on that list is going to be Fabinho, unfortunately. He's probably just going to have to be a League Cup player, even though he would be a starting right back. See, these are difficult decisions, but he's on loan. I think he's probably going to be the man to not make the cut early on. But then we still have to pick one player not to bring. Gabriel Jesus, well, I can't do that. Nunez, I can't do that either. I definitely can't do Nunez. He won the Golden Boot, but I also can't do Antonio. I've given him a star player role. Bentancur is too good as well. I'm at a loss, boys and girls. Why is this even a rule? It shouldn't be. And I swear, Nunez has been at our club for a while. He's hardly even foreign anymore. I hate it. It makes me very upset. Why is Rodrigo not? I'm confused by the whole system. I don't like it. I definitely don't like it. It's given me a headache, but we're not done with our transfers. We're still trying to bring in a couple other players. We're trying to sell a couple of players as well. For now, I don't think we're targeting anyone particularly too much, but we still have a decent amount of money to play with. £31 million, that's enough to make a really world-class signing. So let's go out, find someone to sign, and potentially improve the squad even more than we have. I don't know if it's physically possible, but I think the goalkeeper is what we need, because Courtois is injured for 2 to 4 months, and Luna's injured for 4 weeks, and even if he was available, I don't know if I'm fully confident to put him in between the sticks. So that's our target, a goalkeeper, and I think we should be all done and dusted for the transfer window and ready to go for the first game of the season against Valencia. We're not playing that today. That's next episode. You have to subscribe to see that one.
Well, it's game day. We are playing our first game against Valencia in tomorrow's episode, but for now, we need to cover the transfers that we have done since we last saw each other. Have we sorted out the goalkeeper problem? No, we have not. I'm quite stressed. I don't really know what I did with that time, as I only sold this guy on loan and Samu. I don't remember what I did at all. I've made some offers, to be completely fair to me. You know, we're trying to get some people in. And by some, I mean an Italian. I don't actually remember. I've been on holiday. I went up to the Auckland to watch the Wellington Phoenix. I don't really know what I was doing at all. We haven't made any more signings. And we're going to be playing the first game of the season with, I would imagine, Sergio Ramos in goal. Let's take a look at his ability. He looks banging. Real Madrid, starting with... Yep, okay. let's take a look at the youth facilities. Maybe a cheeky wee youth goalkeeper that's got some insane potential. No insane potential there. Let's B will do the job. He'll do the job. No. Okay. So I'm thinking it's gonna be Ramos. If he's anywhere near as good as Sergio Ramos in goalkeeper, we'll be good. But based off those stats, I've got a good feeling that any shot that comes his way is probably going to end up in the back of the net. I really need to focus more on that goalkeeper position. What am I up to? Like, honestly, what am I up to? I know that it's been a while, but I'm very confused. I thought I recorded this part, honestly. I went to start editing the video for today, and I just haven't finished it, but it's still a good team. You know, it's a good transfer window, if you completely ignore the fact that we haven't signed the one position that we desperately needed. But we've brought in some amazing players. Sancho, Nori, Ndidi, Ronaldo, Ramos, Antonio. Ronaldo's back at the club. Come on, let's not complain. We can stick him in between the sticks. Fabinho's back. Gabriel Jesus is back. Although I can't register half of the players I want to from... Oh, yeah, okay. I've had a mare in a lot of ways during this transfer window. But, you know, sometimes in life, you got to roll with the punches. And you got to just keep your chin up, move forward, and send some of the players who can't register out on loan. That is where we're going to end today's episode. Do not miss tomorrow's episode where we will be playing our first game in the league for the season. Hopefully we can start off with a win against Valencia, the side that finished second place last year and the only team that beat us last season, so it will be an exciting one. I'm sure we'll sign a goalkeeper next episode. Oh, please tell me I sign a goalkeeper next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Make sure to like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you all later.